Okay, hello, this is Fred with Wentworth CCTV, and today we are going to be covering the registration process of the EnGenius cloud-based access points. And to demonstrate this, we're going to be using a ECW 160, which is registered the same way as the ECW 260. And these are the primary access points, the cloud-based access points that we use in exterior environments like campgrounds and marinas. So the first thing you're going to have to do is create a EnGenius Cloud account. To do so, just Google EnGenius Cloud, just like so. It will bring you to this link, which EnGenius Cloud AI-driven smart cloud management. And we're going to enter that. We're going to hit the login tab, and due to this being the first time that you've used EnGenius product, if it is the first time, you're going to have to create a account by hitting the sign up button right here. That's simply going to ask you for an email address, which it will verify, and it will allow you to create a username and password. Okay. If you're an EnGenius Elite partner and still watching this video, you're in trouble. But if you're an EnGenius Elite partner, you can log in there. You can also log in using your Facebook or Google accounts. I recommend signing up the proper way and using your email. Okay. First time you log in, it's going to bring you to the device management area because you have no devices under management. And what we want to do, you'll also see this little window that's annoying. That's EnGenius welcoming you. It will tell you about their mobile apps and stuff like that. Just give you good cloud management updates. So you can read those if you like, but the purpose of this class is to register the access point. So we're going to hit register device here. And this is going to ask us for the serial number of the access point. I'm going to switch to another video right now, and this will show us how to get the serial number from the back of the access point. When you unbox it and flip it over, there'll be a serial number listed. We'll probably start with a 2, but that's what you need to enter here. You can also do this process with their mobile app, the EnGenius Cloud mobile app. If you scan the QR code here, one's for Apple, one is for Android, go to the App Store. You can download the EnGenius Cloud mobile app. And when you do that and log into your account, it will let you also scan the QR code using this app that is located on the back of the access point. And it will connect it to your EnGenius account as well. We prefer the PC method and manually entering the serial number. You may like the mobile app, that's fine. But for the purposes of this video, we are going to manually enter the serial number. And we'll switch to that video now. Okay, so we are ready to power up the access point to ensure that we can register it on the cloud. So basically what we have here is a ECW 160. We are going to plug a Cat6 cable into the PoE port on the bottom. Of course, these come with weatherproof plugs that you want to run the cable through when you install it in a field environment. For the purposes of this demonstration, we're just going to plug this directly in, okay? And it snaps in, not going anywhere. So this cable now is going to run, if this access point is on the camp store, to the main EnGenius PoE switch. It actually can be any PoE switch. It doesn't have to be EnGenius, but EnGenius designs switches specifically for these devices, 2-layer switches that are designed to be the infrastructure of a Wi-Fi system. So anyway, we're going to run this cord to that switch, which is going to give it PoE and internet. We also talked about in the previous blog that we're going to have these guys throughout the campground. We're going to have them on poles throughout the campground, probably on the rec hall, probably on some bathhouses, to ensure every campsite has line of sight to the access point. If we install these in a remote field location, um, we need to use a PoE injector to power them. Okay, they need a power source. They're not magic. We have these PoE plugs for sale on our website. Um, and just like any other PoE injector, there are two ports on the back of this guy. One is for power and one is for data or internet feed. So the access point is going to be directly plugged into the power. Okay. Now, the other end of this PoE injector will be plugged in to the internet source. Okay. So if we're at the camp store and we don't have a PoE switch, which we should have, we could plug the other end of this PoE injector right into our modem or right into a firewall, which is obviously more secure. So let's say firewall. And that's going to give your access point internet. It's going to connect it to the web. And once that happens, we're going to be able to pick it up in our cloud management tool, okay, in the EnGenius Cloud. In our video, we talked about the serial number, inputting the serial number. And the serial number on these access points is right here. It's listed out. Okay, this one starts with a 2010 and then a series of numbers. So that is how we're going to map this to the cloud using the serial number. That's all the information you need. Okay, so we're going to plug this in. We're going to get it online, and now we are going to add it to the cloud. All right, we are back at the register device screen in the cloud, and we are going to input the serial number that we got from the back of the ECW 160 in this box, and we're just going to hit register, which is going to register this device to the cloud account that we created. Okay, and it tells us we've done that successfully, so that's good. So now that the access point is connected to the cloud, we need to create a network to assign it to. And when we come up to these three lines here, you're going to see the account that you created along with the network. And we will name the network typically the name of the campground. Okay, so we can call this Fred's Campground. And you could put the location too, as far as the town or state. If you're a single campground, a single operating unit, it's really not that important. But if you have multiple campgrounds, multiple locations that you're going to add to this count, obviously you'd want to specify, Yogi Bear, Ossipee, or Yogi Bear, Conway, Yogi Bear, whatever, Milton, and so on, because it's going to be important to the management of your system. But if you're a single location, not so important. So that is going to be the name of this network. Okay. Now we need to add a broadcast SSID for our network before we clone the access point to it. So we're going to hit add SSID, which is our broadcast information. And we're going to start with the wireless name of the network. This is the broadcast that the access point is going to give to the clients. By clients, I mean, somebody's cell phone, laptop, tablet. This is what they're going to see in their Wi-Fi selector as options in the campground. And the basic one should just say basic. It's basic Wi-Fi. Okay, and you could obviously put the name of your campground first. You could do this however you want. So we're going to enable the wireless network. We're going to leave the radio's dual band, which is the 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz band. As we discussed in our previous video, we are designing systems now so that each campsite should have line of sight to an access point. which allows for pretty much everybody to get on the 5 gigahertz band, which is less congested and much faster than the 2.4. For security type, WPA2PSK, this is going to be the password that the camper has to enter to access the system once it selects Fred's Campground from their, from their device's Wi-Fi selection. So we're just going to put free Wi-Fi here. Okay. And I spelled that wrong, didn't I? I did Fred Wi-Fi. I don't know why. So we'll try that again. Free Wi-Fi. Boy, why does it keep doing it? Free Wi-Fi. There we go. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. My finger's not working. Client IP mode. It's going to default towards bridge. No, no, no. We do not want bridge. We want NAT. There's a huge difference. Okay, when you're using NAT with a cloud-based controller, we're letting our cloud do the work. So in other words, this system is going to give each client its IP address. Okay. When you're in bridge mode here, what's going to happen is the firewall or router or modem that you have at your facility, it's going to, if it's in bridge mode, the Wi-Fi system is going to make the router issue its client. It's an IP address from your router. Most routers can only issue 200 IP addresses max. Okay, they advertise 200. Once they get to 100, they're done. So this is super important. Okay, this is why a lot of campgrounds don't have success. They have their access points in bridge mode, and it will be fine when there aren't a lot of campers in the campground. Once you get to a certain client number, the router or modem just can't handle it anymore, and it freezes up, it locks up, people are getting booted. It's just not a good scene. So we want NAT. This is a commercial Wi-Fi system. We want NAT to do that work, and we have unlimited IP addresses that can be issued through the system. So yes, enable NAT. Okay. Everything else can be left alone. We can enable analysis. That's okay. Okay, so now we're going to go to bandwidth limit, which is something that we talked about in previous videos. And this is going to, we've designed a very high-speed network, a very stable network that has a lot of throughput. As a result of that, each client, if not restricted, can use whatever they want. And that is going to be a problem. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to enable the bandwidth limits to a 3 download and 1 upload access under the free Wi-Fi service. So in other words, each phone or tablet or laptop or gaming device that connects to your Wi-Fi under this basic or free broadcast can only use 3 down and 1 up. Download and upload speeds, not to bore you guys, but what's the difference? Some people don't know. Download speed is when you take something, when you download it, when you take it from the internet. So if we're watching or streaming Netflix or Hulu or YouTube and we're watching videos, we're downloading those videos from the internet. If we're checking email, we're downloading, right? Upload is we're sending something now. Okay, so we're sending an email with an attachment. We have to send that picture to the internet, right? If we're putting pictures from camp on our Facebook and we're uploading the Facebook pages, uploading the pictures to Facebook, we're using upload speed. In a campground environment, we're using mostly download, probably a 3-to-1 ratio. We have seen an increase in upload with people working from camp. Why? Because they are using Zoom and Skype and all of these conference call devices where they're talking to right from their laptop at camp. And when they do that, they have to transmit the data. So they're uploading. Um, so yeah, we're seeing a little bit of an increase in that over the COVID times. But so we want to do that. I do it per client. You can also do it per broadcast SSID in a system where we're charging people, which is another video entirely. But where we're charging people, and we have another broadcast that is a premium broadcast. Um, Generally, that will take precedence over the basic. So if you have a gig or 1,000 of internet from your internet service provider, we could say that we only want the free service to use 250 megs, um, maybe 50 up. And that would reserve 750 of the download speed, and whatever you have for upload, the remainder of the upload speed to be used for the premium service. In other words, it prioritizes the SSIDs. Um, Most campgrounds, again, we're talking about a basic system that you're setting up yourself. We're going to worry about per clients, okay? But that is an option. You can do it per broadcast SSID as well. It also shows you, which is a useful tool. This is new with EnGenius. What typically we see for you. So basic mail and browsing. That's what we want free to be, right? We don't want people streaming on free. They're going to use your resources. That's one. Low def SD streaming is 3 Mbps, so they can do a little bit of that. It's not going to be super fast, but they can do it. When you get into high speed streaming, live streaming, online gaming, 4K streaming, all that stuff is going to use more than 3. And typically what we do again is we will offer a free broadcast in a campground because you all are dealing with bandwidth restrictions in most cases. And then we will offer a premium broadcast, which you can use a voucher service or a pay portal with, where someone pays for that higher speed. And we have to do that for a couple of reasons. I know as a campground owner, you're saying, geez, I have a world-class resort. I want everybody to be able to stream and have unlimited bandwidth. It doesn't work that way. It could if you want to pay for about 3 gigs of fiber from your internet service provider. We have some campgrounds that are paying close to $2,000 a month for a gig of fiber. I mean, that's a lot of money. So most places can't do that. So we offer the free or basic service as a courtesy to our guests. And then we offer a streaming service, which, like I said, would be 10, 20 Mbps, and you charge a daily, weekly, monthly fee for that. So if someone wants it for a week, they can pay you $19 and have access to high-speed internet for that week. At the end of the week, their code goes away and they can't use it anymore. Seasonals can do it on a monthly basis. Okay, you want to charge them $29 a month for Wi-Fi that they pay the campground for to use it. That's great. That creates a revenue stream for you to help pay for the stuff. Okay, and as more people subscribe to the premium service and we get close to our bandwidth limits, you then will have the revenue, the resources to call Atlantic Broadband or Comcast and say, I need a faster speed internet. I need more bandwidth. And they can upload your speed to the current modem. They can add another modem. There are different options that we can use to get you more bandwidth. But you need to create that revenue stream first. We've had blogs and videos with our suggestions for, a base setup. And that will get you through to this part. But primarily, yeah, you want to set up a basic network like we just did, and we'll have future videos that gets into the pay part and the portals and the splash screen, pay portals and voucher programs and all that stuff. All right, so that was our spiel on bandwidth control, which is important. And again, per client, we're at 3-in-1. We'll apply that, and then we are going to head to the captive portal. Captive portal allows you to use a splash screen, a welcome screen to greet your campers, and I would highly suggest you enable it. Once enabled, you will get a welcome screen, a splash screen, that you can welcome your campers with, and you can customize this to your campground. So everybody that picks, Fred's Campground and enters the free Wi-Fi password, the next thing they're going to see is this screen, and they have to agree to your terms and agreements. But you can put custom messages here. So you could greet your campers, Welcome to Fred's Campground, 2021 season, right? And then you can add a picture to make it look even more custom. And oftentimes people will use their logo. I recommend using their logo. And you can input that here, which really makes it look sharp, right? You don't want to get into a lot of high def pictures or videos here because it's using bandwidth, right? These people, the basic users, have 3. And if everybody's downloading a high def picture, it's taken from your resources that could be functional, Wi-Fi for campers. So just do a basic logo, and then you could put, you could add messages. You could add, hey, we have a DJ at Rec Hall, 8 p.m. Friday, and then I don't know what you have. You have a pool party maybe Saturday, 11 a.m. Right? This is a good tool, right? It's sharp, has your logo. You can pass messages on. They have to agree to the terms and agreements before they access your internet. So, sure, I don't know why you wouldn't do that, right? It doesn't cost you anything. So we'll go ahead and apply that. And basically, we've set up our networks. We'll go through the tabs again real quick. The wireless tab is your broadcast. Campground basic Wi-Fi. It's enabled both bands, 2.4 and 5. We've set up our WPA2PSK password here, okay? And we switch from bridge to NAT. Again, so important right there, folks. We've set up, oh shoot. We've set up our bandwidth, yep. So 3 and 1 is what they're allowed. We've enabled our captive portal. When we talked about the voucher service or pay portal, these are options that we can use as well with the captive portal. Basically, anybody that logged in would be redirected to that service for the pay password that they purchased. And again, we'll have future videos on that stuff. Can't cover everything all at once. Splash screen is going to be your greeting, that everybody's going to see when they come in. You can customize it. Yep. Schedule, we don't use in campgrounds. That you could shut your Wi-Fi off if you wanted during certain days and times where people couldn't get on. Access control is, if we have to ban a stooge for looking at inappropriate things, or if someone, I don't know why you'd ban them in a campground, hell, but if you want to ban somebody, you can do it here, okay, by MAC address. So, with all of that said, what we are ready to do now is add our campground SSID or broadcast to the access point, or the access point to it. And now that we've done that, now that we've created this SSID, the good thing is any future access points that we register to this account is going to automatically take on those settings that we just set up. You don't have to do it for every access point. You just have to set up the network once, and then every access point that is added thereafter is cloned to it, which is beautiful. It saves a lot of time, right? You can do all this in the camp office and hand it to your maintenance guy and have him go hang it. So yeah, you want to program these before you put them up. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our device, and we are going to, so here it is. If you look at it, it's not assigned to the network yet, right? Because we just made it. So we're going to click this AP box. I don't know why this is so wobbly. I'm sorry if my picture's bobbing. So click the AP, and we want to assign it to a network, right? And the only network we've set up is our, the free network. So we're going to pick that, and we're going to hit apply. And that's going to make those network settings take effect on the access point, okay? And the access point should also show on our dashboard. So if you go to this TV here, the screen, there is a option for dashboard. And this is really neat to have in the Camp Store because it is going to show you what's going on in your campground. So now we see we have one access point. It's online. We don't have any clients. Um, if we did, we could see what they were using for internet and what times they're using it. You see if there's 10 clients on, 8 clients on. If it went up to 1,000, this would adjust your traffic. It will show you what they're using for up and down. Um, it will show you what they're doing. It'll show you the top things that they're using. So Android and app, it will show you who's using what of which. And it will show here top applications would be Facebook, YouTube. It will show you what they're doing. Beautiful, right? So with that said, the next thing we will do, I will switch to my phone and I will show you how, once this is set up, how the end user would connect to it on the phone. And then we'll come back to this screen and see what my phone is doing and make sure that the dashboard is working properly. All right, so now we will test our network. And if you are not set up properly, this is always a cringe-worthy time. But if you've done it properly and you followed the steps that we gave you, it will no longer be a problem. Network and internet. Okay, right now Wi-Fi is off. We want to turn it on. And we are going to look for our device. We don't want the neck here. We want Fred's Campground Wi-Fi. Look at that. Full broadband, full signal. So we want to type our password, which we said was free Wi-Fi. And we'll make sure we did that right, and we did. And we are going to connect. And with any luck, we will see our splash screen. Look at that. Welcome to our 2021 season. We see our DJ, we see the pool party, and we see the terms and agreement. So we are going to continue to the internet, and we are connected. We will do a speed test to make sure that we are getting what we want for speed. We set it for 3 and 1, and we'll make sure that control is working on here. So go ahead and start your speed test. And we're getting 2.8, and we are getting throttle down here, and we'll go down. So get a new speed test. So let's do that again, just because the up looked a little high. It's not uncommon to get 2.8, 2.9, and 3. I'm not worried about that. But the upload speed, I'd like to see a little closer to 1. So these settings may still be taking effect. There we go. That's what we want. Perfect. And I would suggest putting a speed tester on your phone, just so you can, if when you set this up and you have everything configured, so you can verify your work and make sure everything's working right. Okay, here we are back on the dashboard, and it's the last thing. Hang in there, but it will show you the access point is online and that we have one client, which is my cell phone, connected to it on the 5G frequency, which is exactly what we want. As promised, it will show you throughput, how much bandwidth that I used, upload and download, and it will show you what I did. I did some basic browsing on the internet and looked at Facebook. Download will be blue, upload green, as you can see, as is the case in the campground. We're using more download than upload. Okay. But that's basically just a tool for you to see what's online. And that concludes our presentation on basic configuration using the EnGenius Cloud. Again, we'll have future broadcasts and streams and blogs on setting up a premium broadcast and how you can charge folks for that premium usage and create a revenue stream for your campground to help pay for this stuff. Generally, properly set up system that charges for streaming services and a 100-site campground, the system will pay for itself. Your revenues will pay for the hardware in your campground in 2 to 3 seasons, and it can become a profitable tool for you when in place properly. So make sure you like our page, subscribe to our page, hit the red subscribe button or the red button here, and you will get notified when these broadcasts become available, and we'll make sure we get that content to you. Thank you and happy camping.